What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about the 10 pieces of advice that I have for young men starting out. So the first piece of advice I'll give you, college. All right? Don't go to college or don't go to an expensive 4-year school if you're not sure what you're going to do when you get there. All right? A lot of kids go into college with their majors as undecided. This is not a smart thing to do because it's going to set you up to start life out in the back seat. All right? And what I mean by this is, if you can go to a college, all right, a community college, and get your prerequisites out of the way, like your math 101, your English 101, your writing, that type of stuff, right? And you get it all the way at community college, all right? Which is what your first 2 years of college is gonna be anyways, all right? Getting those classes out of the way. Get it done at a cheaper school, all right? Like a community college where it's gonna cost you $6,000 to $8,000 a year as opposed to $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year to do the same core basic classes. All right, unless you're going into college knowing that you're going to be operating a degree that's in a STEM field, science, tech, math, all right, engineering, all right, in one of those 4 fields, all right, of study, go to college. All right, or you want to become a lawyer, go to college. All right. You don't need to go to college for a business degree, all right? Or you don't need to go to an expensive college for a business degree. And if you're going for a business degree, go your first 2 years to community college, all right? So that way it's cheaper, you can pay out of pocket, and that way you won't be starting life off behind in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, all right? That's the first piece of advice that I'll give to you. Second piece of advice that I'll give to you is learn masculinity. All right, masculinity is not something that is being taught these days. All right, most guys, maybe yourself, growing up in a household where you're hearing your father talk about happy life, happy wife, right? Or it's cheaper to keep her, or you even seeing your mother talking down and harping on your father. All right, that is not what you want to look up to for masculinity. All right, masculinity is something that needs to be taught, and it needs to be taught if you want to have the relationships and the life that you want to have when you grow up. All right, so find a mentor, get around a group of guys that are a masculine group of guys, all right, and start learning traits. All right, start learning how to be masculine. All right, the main point of being masculine is knowing what you want and going after it, whether it be in relationships or the life that you want to live. And that is stuff, masculinity, that is something that you need to learn. The fourth piece of advice that I would give young men is spin plates. All right, that means date multiple women at once. All right, because how you know what you want, all right, unless you experience a bunch of different flavors. All right, okay, you might like this girl, all right, but then you may not like this girl and see there are some qualities of this girl that you don't like in the girl that you do like. All right, so then you date a little bit more, you might find a girl that don't have any other qualities that you don't like. All right, and that's why you want to get out there and spin plates. All right, so that way you find what you like, because human beings are different. All right, what's one person's cup of tea may not be your cup of tea. All right, and what's your cup of tea is not going to be someone else's cup of tea. But how are you going to know that unless you get out there and experience it? All right, another thing spinning plates does is it makes the cream rise to the top. All right, if you have a bunch of girls that you're dating, one likes you, she knows that you are dating a bunch of other girls, all right, competition anxiety is gonna make her perform at her best, all right, for you. All right, she's going to start doing things for you to prove her worth. And that is how you want to start off relationships. All right, by being here. All right, making her come into your frame if she wants that exclusivity with you. That's not going to happen if she doesn't know that you have options. Understand what I'm saying? Next piece of advice that I have for young men is don't get married too soon. All right, when you're young, you have the energy to build what you want to build your life into. All right, when you get married, now you are having to take into consideration someone else's feelings and someone else's well-being. So now you can't take the risk that you need to build what you want to build. All right, when you get into a relationship, all right, especially in your 20s, in your 30s, the girl that you're with, she's going to want to push for marriage if you've been with her for 2, 3, 4 years. All right, and I'm telling you, don't do that. All right, the other thing marriage does is after you get married, she or even you gonna want to have kids. All right, that's another set of mouths that you have to feed. It's gonna take out of your capital that you're gonna need to invest into building your life up to what you want it to be when you get to 30 or your 40s, right? So don't get married too young. The next piece of advice that I have for young men is learn the marriage laws. All right, the marriage laws in the Western world doesn't favor men. All right, so before you get into marriage, all right, you're gonna want to learn the laws. If you learn the laws, you might see something that you don't like on it, and it might hold you up on pulling that trigger for now, because you know that that's not something that you want to deal with right now. All right, and it may help you put it off for later on in life, or it may help you say, hey, you know what, this sounds like a bad deal to me, I don't want to get married anymore. All right, learn the marriage laws. It is going to help you a ton before you put that ring on and you say, I do. All right. The next piece of advice that I have for young men is watch the company you keep. All right. If you're a dude, you're young, you're on your grind, you know where you want to go. All right, you got to watch the company that you keep, right? Because if you're hanging out with a bunch of guys that want to party, and they want to smoke weed, they want to, and that's all they want to do, all right? They're not looking to better their lives. It's going to make it harder for you to accomplish that, all right? My dad used to say, if you want horses to run fast, race them, train them against other faster horses. That's how you get a horse to run fast. All right. If the horses that you're running with are slowing you down, all right, or they're slow horses, guess what? Your progress is going to be impeded. You're not going to get there as fast as you want to get or as fast as you can get there because you don't have that camaraderie with people that are like-minded as you are. The next piece of advice that I have for young men is learn delayed gratification. All right. So you built your business up. First year, this is the first year you hit 100K, you net 100K, right? There's a calculator right here. So let's say you net 100K, right? You got 100K right here, right? What's the first thing people are gonna want to do? All right, they're gonna want to get a nice car, a nice apartment. Oh, I'm gonna go get that new G-Wagon. Well, to buy that G-Wagon or to lease that G-Wagon is gonna cost you at least $2,500 a month. All right, to lease. All right, to buy it, forget it. All right, if you put down a substantial amount of money to bring it to those payments, all right, you're still making a high payment and you're still gonna have to put down a substantial amount of money to get the payments that you want. All right, so let's say you're making 100 grand a year. 100 divided by 12, all right, because there are 12 months out of the year. 100, divide that by 12, that is 8,000. as $8,333, right? That new Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon is gonna cost you about $2,500 a month to lease. All right, so let's take away $2,500 from that. Now you're left with $5,833. All right, but we ain't stopping right there, right? You're gonna want to get a nice apartment, right? Nice rent's been going up. All right, let's say you get like a decent 2-bedroom, 2-bath, or a decent 2-bedroom, 1-bath type of situation. It's gonna cost you about $2,000, right? If you're in California, forget it. All right, so minus 2,000 from 5,833. Now you're left with 3,000. Come on. Right? Now you're left with $3,833, right? You see how fast this money is going away, all right? And then on top of that, you have bills and all that to pay, all right? Let's say your car insurance and your health insurance each come up to about $1,000, all right? And then you have your electric bill, your phone bill, and all that. So let's say your bills, all right, with car insurance and all that comes out to $1,200. All right, so you minus $1,200. What was it? About $3,000. All right, now you're left with $2,633. All right, and then on top of that, you want to go out on the weekend, right? Right, you're dating a bunch of girls and you want to take them out to nice restaurants, right? Let me tell you something. A meal at a nice restaurant is going to cost you between $200 and $300. All right, if you guys consider drinking alcohol and the meals and all that. All right, so let's say $200, right? But you're doing that every weekend. All right, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8. All right, so then you minus 800 from that. All right, now you're left with $1,833. All right, and that's being conservative. All right, then you're gonna want to buy clothes and shoes and all that right there. All right, before you know it, you're left with nothing to invest into your future. All right, okay, we had $8,000, now we're down to $1,800, and we even calculate what it's gonna cost for clothes and shoes and all that. All right, so learn to delay gratification. All right, you take that money, you invest, put it into the S&P 500 or put it into a business that you have going on, and set yourself up for when you get to 30 or 40 to live the life that you want to live. All right, the next piece of advice that I'm going to give to these young men is protect your energy and your mental bandwidth. All right, if you are around toxic people that is going to need your time and your energy all the time, all right, how much that is going to cost you a lot of stress, all right, and how much time and thought and brain power and mental are you going to have to put into your shit, right? You need to save your time. All right, you need to protect your time, you need to protect your energy, you need to protect your mental bandwidth, all right? Because I'll tell you, it's way harder to perform when you're stressed out than when you have a clear head, all right? That's why we have so many of these gurus talking about meditation, all right? To clear your brain out, all right? That type of stuff is important if you are building as a young man, all right? So get rid of toxic people, get rid of toxic relationships. It's only going to take away from you. All right, you know those people that you got to go pick up in the middle of the night because they got into some type of situation. You need to get rid of those people. All right, they're not going to help in you protecting your mental bandwidth and your energy. All right, and the last piece of advice that I'm going to give to you as a young man starting out is don't be afraid to invest in your personal development. All right, what I mean by that is don't be afraid to pay for a mentor. All right. And the reason why I say that is because everybody wants stuff for free. All right. When you want stuff for free and you don't invest into it, you tend to pay less attention to it. All right. My dad always used to say, if you thought education was expensive, try ignorance. All right. A life full of ignorance. If you think education was expensive, all right, a life full of ignorance, that is way more expensive because it is going to prevent you from getting the things that you want in life. All right. And the fastest way to get the things that you want in life is to pay for the knowledge of someone who's been there and done that. All right. All you're paying for is that knowledge. All right. That's the fast track to get what you want. All right. So that's the advice that I got for young men. All right. If you like the video, found it informative, give me a thumbs up, shoot me a comment below as to what you guys want to hear next. Interact with me so that way I can help you guys out. The goal here of this channel is to help as many men as possible get on the path and get to live in the life that they want to live. All right. Stay safe. Take it easy. Talk to you guys later. Peace.